Dana White. He joins us now in the herd. Kind of slow moving there. Slow moving. We're excited. All right. For people who parachute in and they had Christmas and they were I thought 232 was in Vegas. Now it's in L.A. in like a Reader's Digest version.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
So we had a situation in Nevada where Jon Jones had a metabolite in his system from his previous drug violation in 2016 or whenever it was.
Now, it was Anaheim. I was there when he beat Daniel Cormier, beat DC, right?
Right.
And he won the belt. And then, a week later,
right,
he had to give back the belt, and he was suspended.
After testing positive, exactly.
So it's still in his system?
Yeah, so they're finding, the experts and USADA and people who have done this thing are finding that this type of steroid stays inside your body for a long time. And we're talking picogram levels. And I don't know if you even know what a picogram is, but the way it was explained is if you take a grain of salt and you split it up 50 million times, a picogram is one of those 50 million pieces. So they're saying that this steroid gets stored inside the liver and spits, picograms out every once in a while, that if you're going through the type of testing that Jon Jones is going through, it will. But even if you were, it's impossible for you to take that amount. So they have said, all the experts say he did not use again. This is left over from them. That would be double jeopardy. You can't punish the guy twice for the same violation. So Nevada didn't have time to deal with this right now. First of all, it's the holidays. 4 of the commissioners weren't even in the state. So we had to make a move, and we called venues out here. The Forum in LA was available, and we moved the entire event.
Have you ever done this before? You've done some wild stuff all over the world with this thing.
We have.
But in the process of, was it like a week?
Yeah.
Moving from Vegas to LA, that it sounds like a Southwest flight, but that sounds like so many different things to juggle.
Not just the week, but the week of Christmas.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And, a lot of our staff was out of town for Christmas and things like that. We moved this thing. So tickets went on sale the day after Christmas. We sold over 10,000 tickets in 4 hours. In the last 2 days, we've sold the event out. Incredible.
All right, so how does it affect the actual fight?
Doesn't. But everybody weighed in today. Everybody made weight. Everybody's ready to roll. We'll do the ceremonial weigh-ins today, and the fight happens tomorrow.
All right, here's the biggest problem. Bones Jones, anybody who's watched it knows he's one of the most freak athletes we've ever seen. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, he's remarkable, the things that he can do. But
Correct.
Twice he's tested positive after winning the belt, and twice he's been stripped of it. So I know it's just a picogram, but it's hard to even what you watch this weekend to take it as real, to not go like, well, he won. If he wins, like, yeah, he won, but he's going to get stripped of it later on.
Yeah, well, he won't. He should not get stripped of this title. Listen, they don't test for recreational drugs until the fight.
Yeah.
The only way Jon Jones tests positive for something after this fight, if it's recreational, which would be cocaine or marijuana or any of those type of drugs, because they've been testing him like crazy. When we made the decision to move to California said pending a drug test. So he did a drug test with California too and passed. So the only way this guy gets, if he wins and gets stripped or any of that, it's recreational drugs. Listen, you said it yourself. Jon Jones is one of the greatest athletes in all of sports, period, let alone probably the greatest fighter of all time, but he's also the greatest screw-up.
Well, you've had some guys that like this is kind of like part of the business you run, right?
Yeah. I don't think we've ever had guys at the level of Jon Jones. Jon Jones is the greatest of all time and the greatest screw-up of all time.
There's going to be interesting lists put out on the internet as we speak. Now, he's lost to Gustafsson before, right? Like this is
he beat Gustafsson. Their first fight was an absolute war. It's the greatest light heavyweight title fight in the history of the sport. And, I expect this one to be good too.
Style-wise.
Yeah.
Style-wise, what would you expect? What would you expect to see?
Well, here's the thing. You have a guy, Jon Jones is massive.
Right.
So when Jon Jones goes in, he has huge reach, size advantage, everything. He doesn't have those things against Gustafsson. Both of these guys have great chins. They both hit hard. the first time Jon Jones was ever taken down in a fight was by Gustafsson, which people didn't see that coming either. But Jon Jones claims I was at my worst when it came to partying and abusing myself leading up to the Gustafsson fight. Gustafsson doesn't realize that, and I'm going to destroy him this time.
Now, obviously, no more Rousey in the sport. She's gone to WWE, but the Cyborg fight should be one which I know you've piped it as the greatest women's fight that you've ever had. How much different, though, is the attention on Cyborg when and her fight when there was this massive media following? There was the mainstream sports fan became so into the Ronda thing,
right.
And then when Ronda left the sport, suddenly some of that fanfare went away.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Ronda was such a huge superstar. You expect that to happen, but this fight right here needed to happen. This is a true super fight. You have the 135-pound champion versus the 145-pound champion, two of the baddest women in the world, fighting in their prime when they should be fighting. I expect this fight to be extremely violent.
Yeah. No, listen, Cyborg is crazy violent. I almost felt like there's been other fights where she's almost not tapped out somebody just because she wants to make a point.
Yeah.
With how physically dominant and physical that she can be.
And both of these women hit hard. They're both very technical. I expect this. I actually expect this, even though Jones Gustafsson is incredible in the main event, the first one. I expect this to be the fight of the night.
Is this what's the order? Where is it in the order?
Co-main and main.
It's co-main.
Yeah, co-main is the two baddest women in the world. Main event, greatest light heavyweight title fight in history.
My favorite part of going to one of your events is that right before they get into the octagon, they check them for knives and shivs, right?
They're checking their fingernails.
Yes.
But
they do kind of pat them down.
Yeah,
It's like
it does look that way.
It's like TSA is like, wow, that's a little bit deep cavity even for
That's funny.
Okay. What's the status of Conor?
Conor is probably going to be back this summer, I would say.
How big will that be? There's some that think, all right, once you go boxing, it's hard. It's a step back. How big will it be? His return this summer?
Yeah, I think his return will be big because he's going to end up fighting one of the guys in the top three, and Habib and Tony.
Yeah,
what will happen too? So it's almost going to be this little tournament between the best 4 or 5 fighters in the world in that division. Max Holloway. We'll see what happens with him if he moves to 55. There's a lot of interesting fights in that division. It'll be big.
It's UFC,
and fun.
It's UFC 232, of course, on pay-per-view, prelims on Fox Sports 1, and he's one and only President Dana White. I'm glad that you didn't treat me like you treated Oscar on TV about a week ago.
Well, you're not an idiot.
No. Well, thank you. At least this particular
You're not a liar either.
I haven't always told the truth, but not.
You've never lied to me.
I have not. Nor have I openly lied about money, which is, I think, one of the things that I was just as a fascinating watch. Do yourself a favor, Google search it, and you're like, wow. That's a mic drop moment. Dana White, thanks so much. Happy holidays to you.
Same to you.
Best of luck this weekend.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.